Imagine that when you were born, you were given a massive, beautiful piece of land. It's right behind your house, but there's a catch. It's hidden behind a giant wooden fence. You can't see what's growing there from your window, but that garden is the most important thing in your life. Why? Because everything you see in your life, your house, the money in your pocket, the way people treat you, even how healthy you feel, is actually a fruit that grew in that secret backyard. If you have bitter fruit in your life, like sadness or struggle, it's not because the world is mean. It's because that is what was planted in the soil. Most people spend their lives at the grocery store complaining about the fruit. They scream at the manager, they cry about the prices, and they try to buy better fruit. But as the mind mechanic, I'm here to tell you that you don't need to go to the store. You own the farm. The problem is that for 40 years, you've been letting strangers toss seeds over your fence. Your neighbors, the news, and your old teachers have been throwing weed seeds into your soil, and you've been watering them without even knowing it. Today, we are going to open that gate. We are going to learn the rules of the subconscious garden so you can stop growing thorns and start growing gold. Rule 1, the soil doesn't care. The law of neutrality. The first and most important rule of the garden is this: the soil is blind. Imagine you have 2 seeds in your hand. One is a seed for a delicious, sweet apple. The other is a seed for nightshade, a deadly, poisonous weed. If you dig 2 holes and plant them side by side, what does the soil do? Does the soil scream, "Don't plant the poison, that's bad for you"? No, the soil doesn't care. It doesn't have a brain. It only has one job: to make things grow. It will give the poison seed just as much water, just as much food, and just as much love as it gives the apple. The soil is neutral. It doesn't judge you for what you plant. It just returns what you give it. The 5-year-old rule: your subconscious mind is the soil. It doesn't know the difference between a true thought and a false thought. It doesn't know the difference between a good dream and a bad nightmare. If you plant the thought, "I am going to fail," your subconscious doesn't say, "No, don't think that." It just says, "Yes, sir/ma'am," and starts building the roots for failure. The adult application. This is why you must be a security guard at your own gate. Most people over 40 have spent decades planting poison seeds like, "I'm getting too old," or "The economy is crashing," because your soil is so powerful. It has grown a giant forest of poison. You think the world is a scary place, but you're actually just standing in a forest you accidentally planted. To change your life, you have to stop blaming the soil and start looking at the seeds in your hand. Rule 2, the rule of gestation, the waiting game. The second rule is the one that makes people quit. It's the rule of gestation. If you plant a carrot seed today, do you go out tomorrow morning and dig it up to see if it's growing? If you did that, the carrot would die. You have to leave it in the dark. You have to water it even when you see nothing but dirt. In nature, everything has a season. A baby takes 9 months. A carrot takes 70 days. An oak tree takes 100 years. You cannot yell at a carrot to grow faster. The 5-year-old rule. Just because you can't see the plant doesn't mean the seed is dead. It's busy growing roots in the dark. The adult application. When you start a new mental program, like telling yourself you are wealthy or confident, your physical life won't change in 5 minutes. You are in the dirt phase. Most people plant a seed of success on Monday, but when they don't see a tree of money on Tuesday, they dig up the seed and throw it away. They say, "This mindset stuff is fake," but the mind mechanic knows the secret. You must protect the seed during the silence. The time between planting the thought and seeing the result is a test. If you stay faithful to the dirt, the sprout will eventually break through. Rule 3, the weed war, the mental diet. Imagine you have finally cleared your land and planted beautiful rose bushes. You go inside to rest, thinking your work is done. But while you sleep, something happens. You didn't plant them, you didn't water them, and you certainly didn't buy them, but weeds start to crawl over your fence. In the world of the mind mechanic, weeds are automatic negative thoughts, ANTs. Here is the scary rule of gardening. Weeds don't need your permission to grow. If you do nothing, if you just sit on your porch and hope for a good life, your garden will be overtaken by thorns. Why? Because the wind carries the seeds of doubt from the world around you. Every time you turn on the news and hear about a bad economy, a weed seed lands in your soil. Every time a friend complains about how all the good men/women are gone, a weed seed lands in your soil. Every time you scroll through social media and feel like you aren't doing enough, you are watering those weeds. The 5-year-old rule. You have to be a grumpy gardener. You have to stand at the gate with a shovel and say, "No, you aren't allowed in here." To a 5-year-old, this is like keeping the bad bugs out of the play area. The adult application. This is called your mental diet. You wouldn't eat trash out of a dumpster and expect to be a world-class athlete. So why do you let trashy thoughts into your head and expect to have a world-class life? To pull the weeds, you must practice active rejection. When a thought like, "I'm too old to start this" pops up, you don't argue with it. You don't get sad about it. You just reach down, grab it by the roots, and toss it over the fence. You replace it immediately with a flower thought, like, "My experience is my superpower." If you don't intentionally fill the space with flowers, the weeds will take over by default. There is no such thing as an empty garden. Rule 4, the sunlight of emotion. Feeling is the secret. You can have the best soil in the world and the most expensive seeds in the world, but if you keep your garden in a cold, dark basement, nothing will ever happen. The seeds will just sit there in the dark, frozen and lonely. To make a seed pop open and start reaching for the sky, it needs sunlight. In your subconscious mind, sunlight isn't yellow light from the sky. It is emotion. Most people try to manifest or think their way to a better life using only their logic. They say the words, "I am wealthy, I am wealthy, I am wealthy." But while they are saying the words, their heart feels cold, tight, and scared. They are looking at their empty wallet and feeling lack. The mechanical failure, because the thought, the seed, has no feeling, the sunlight. The subconscious mind thinks it's still winter, and in the winter, the subconscious stays asleep to save energy. It won't start the growth protocol until it feels the heat of your emotions. The 5-year-old rule. You have to pretend it's summer. You have to dance and feel happy as if the flowers are already blooming, even when you only see dirt. The adult application. This is what Neville Goddard meant when he said, "Feeling is the secret." To the mind mechanic, this is the ignition switch. A car without a spark is just a heavy box of metal. A thought without a feeling is just a dead sentence. To give your garden sunlight, you must practice gratitude in advance. You have to close your eyes and feel the relief of having the money now. You have to feel the warmth of the love you want now. When you mix the picture in your head with the feeling in your heart, you create a chemical signal that tells your subconscious, "It's summertime. Start growing the gold." The more sunlight you give your thoughts, the faster the rule of gestation works. You can actually heat up your garden to make things grow in half the time. As we close the gate to the subconscious garden, remember this: you are the owner, the guard, and the gardener. For the last 40 or 50 years, your garden might have been a mess. It might be full of old tires, prickly weeds, and bitter fruit. That's okay. The soil doesn't remember the past. The moment you start planting new seeds and providing new sunlight, the soil starts fresh. It doesn't hold a grudge. Your 24-hour protocol. The morning inspection. Spend 5 minutes pulling weeds. If you wake up with a stinky thought, pull it out immediately. The planting. Speak your "I am" statements with clarity. The sunlight. For 60 seconds, feel the absolute joy of your dream being finished. You aren't a victim of bad luck. You are just a gardener who forgot he had a shovel. The gate is open. The soil is rich. The sun is coming up. It's time to grow something beautiful.